Everybody has fears. Sometimes people have fears that seem a little misunderstood. I hate roller coasters. Liana hates kangaroos. One of the reasons Logan is one of the best comic book films ever made, and is really just a good movie, might be because of a question the director asked early in development.
I was faced with trying to figure out how to do something different, something deeper, something that would feel very final and complete. And the first line of thought I had about it all was just, what is Wolverine frightened of?
As the question is being answered throughout the film, we get to see a conflict that resides within Logan that is expressed throughout the film in several ways, including its setting. So to get a couple things out of the way, this film was definitely different from most comic book films. Aside from Logan saying fuck a lot.
Fuck. Get the fuck away from me! Who the fuck are you? Fuck!
This film is pretty damn violent. It can be said that if this was going to be the last hurrah of Wolverine in the cinemas, filmmakers should do justice to the violence that comes along with knives in your hands. Needless to say, this film was not for kids, but it does allow more freedoms that a younger audience wouldn't have the patience for.
When a film is rated for adults, it means that the film can be filled with adult ideas. Not just graphic stuff, but actually the ideas of the film are allowed to be more sophisticated.
This is why I think Logan was inspired by the Old Man Logan comic book series, where Wolverine has voluntarily dropped the superhero mantle in favor of a simpler life, living in a world where the supervillains won. If you ever read that comic, you'll see it's even more brutal and far more imaginative. The film could have taken a more colorful path of a dystopian, nightmarish future, but it didn't. Instead, its more disturbing elements are subtle and purposely in the background.
Everyone's asleep, Bert. Sleepwalking between the ice caps, pornographers, poison water.
No one seems to notice or even care. This seems especially prevalent in the passengers Logan shuttles around. People are still moving on with their lives, seemingly ignorant or oblivious to the changes. The director even mentions in the commentary fans of the film mentioning the dystopian aspect.
I've seen a lot in reviews and discussions about this film is the dystopian view of America. What's always so odd to me is this is America. We didn't build these sets. What makes people call this movie dystopian is the fact that we're actually just out there shooting our decaying infrastructure the way it really looks.
America is starting to feel like it's stagnant, and it's the same with Logan. He has no larger purpose or calling. He doesn't seem to miss being a superhero. The film also does a great job of dissuading the audience from thinking too grandiose, practically forcing it to ground us in depressing reality rather than enjoy the movie as any kind of escapism. From a senile Charles Xavier to old X-Men comic books, stories that Logan angrily dismisses as over-exaggerated fiction or outright lies. The film, of course, can't stay in this stagnant, depressing state for too long, which is where the inciting incident of the film takes place, and where Logan's conflict with his own fears begin. When we meet Laura, Logan's not interested in helping this girl. At first, it seems like it's because it's interfering with his life, but it becomes clear that this girl has a connection with Logan, and he knows it. Throughout the rest of the movie, he either cooperates begrudgingly with this girl's wishes to drive to Eden, is completely resistant, or shows real, genuine fear. And over the course of the film, Logan's fears become prevalent. Logan is afraid of having a family. There's a three-character trifecta here. Charles, who Logan takes care of like an adult son with their ailing father, Laura, who is his daughter, and himself. Logan, for a certain number of years, has been taking care of Charles, who has some sort of degenerative brain condition that's potentially harmful to everyone around him. It makes one wonder why Logan is still taking care of him considering he's so dangerous. Maybe Logan feels a certain amount of responsibility to him, perhaps due to a sense of debt he owes to Charles for helping him in his past. Laura is a different story, and is the source of Logan's greatest conflict. I think that Logan had such a hard time with this girl because, well, she's family. Logan's family outright rejected him as a kid. His own brother is one of his mortal enemies, and besides that, the only family he's had was the X-Men, and they seem to be out of the picture. The theme of family and how important it is to Logan's development takes place in one of the most painful sequences of the movie, Dinner with the Munsons. The moment they took their invitation to dinner, I knew that whole family was gonna die. It was like watching a funeral before the people in their coffins were killed. But in the moments beforehand, especially with the dinner, which was very much improvised by the actors, by the way, it was a moment of importance for Logan. He was experiencing what it was like to live in a normal, happy family. You could tell that Logan felt conflicted about this, both because he was enjoying himself, and he knew how dangerous this was. But you could tell he was just generally uncomfortable. Of course, Logan was right about the danger. X-24 is a reflection of Logan's darkest fears. A mindless weapon with no sense of humanity. Its creator, of course, is related to the infamous William Stryker, who is responsible for his own mutant-based creations. Watching Dr. Rice take care of X-24 after that nauseating sequence with the Munsons shows even he has some twisted sense of familial connection to him. When X-24 sees Dr. Rice dead, he reacts in rage, seemingly reacting to the only moment of familial connection he has. Near the end of the film, when Logan is at his lowest point, he admits two things. The first is he carried around an adamantium bullet and was considering committing suicide with it. The second says everything about his past.
Bad shit happens to people I care about. You understand me?
And Laura, his daughter, is the last person he wants to see bad things happen to. Up until the end of the film, his wish is to keep her away from him, but her influence has definitely had an effect on him. The final battle of the film is when Logan realizes his help is the only thing that is going to keep Laura safe. It's at this point that Logan finally treats Laura as an equal. The setting is important as well. The final battle doesn't take place in a dystopian area or a place of technology, but in nature. There were a lot of allusions of the conflict between nature and technology in this film, which is, on a thematic level, very much what Logan himself is. Since we're talking about themes, I thought it was especially relevant that Laura killed X-24 with Logan's adamantium bullet, which is as if the best part of Logan killed the worst part of Logan. Logan's final moment is one of catharsis, and I feel like his last words have a double meaning.
This is what it feels like.
He's lived so long that he's never known death before, but what it really meant was what it's like to feel love of family. Logan's lessons resonate within us all. Our fears might not be something that makes a lot of sense, or even be easy to see, but it's something we need to confront and let go of. Even if we release ourselves of our fear in our last, dying moments, it's worth it. Hi everybody, I'm Justin.
And I'm Liana.
And thanks for watching The Big Picture. We hope you enjoyed this video of Logan, probably one of the best comic book films of all time.
Yeah, it was a comic book film, but not really a superhero movie because it focused more on Logan's humanity.
Yeah, and it had a really great road trip vibe feel to it that I really liked. And how about Daphne Keane as Laura?
Oh my gosh, yes. And Patrick Stewart.
And Hugh Jackman.
Obviously.
Oh my god, those last few lines.
Oh, so heartbreaking. But anyway, if you liked what you saw and you want to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon. You can donate as little as $1 per video.
And if you like this video, please press that like button. If you want to see more, please press that subscribe button. And we look forward to you seeing what we are up to next. You're welcome.